trying to make a group of videos for reloading obsolete and older military rifle cartridges. Basically black powder rifle cartridges. And I'm going to start with the first one, which is the 11.15 by 60 millimeter rimmed, or as it's known in the US, the 43 Mauser. And it's a common rifle. You can find them fairly easily. And they were originally a black powder cartridge gun. I've reloaded both smokeless and black powder and experimented with them, and I'm going to try to go over what I've done, my experience with it. This video, the first video, we're going to discuss the brass. Usually a lot of these older guns, nobody's made ammunition for them. Factory made ammo for many years. They've been obsolete and out of production. So you basically had to manufacture your own cartridges by forming the brass from another caliber that's similar or close and going through a process of that. Or there is a company, Bertram Bullet Company from Australia, that is manufacturing newly manufactured brass for many of the obsolete cartridges that are out there. And I got a box of brass here, and brand new from the factory. It's rather expensive, about $65 a box, which that alone is about $3.25 a case. You add in shipping and handling, it kind of pushes it up closer to $4 per case. How many reloads you get out of the case? If you get 10, you're doing real good, but there's some other factors that you may not get that many, and it depends a lot on your reloading habits. You can, and in some cases, depending on the caliber, will have to form the brass from another case that's currently in production. With this caliber, I haven't done that. I spent the money and bought the new brass. Some calibers you will be forced to do that because they're not in production whatsoever. The degree of difficulty, and if you're going to save any money cost-wise by forming your own brass or making it from something else, I'm not sure of. You'll have to investigate that. You know, if you're more comfortable with forming your own brass and saving a few dollars, that's fine. But for me, this stuff, I could afford it, I got it, I like it. And the only other thing about the brass is, you know, at $4 a piece, you have to be a little careful in handling it. If you're loading, and I'm going to go over in a series of videos loading both a smokeless reload and a black powder reload. And I figured that what I do is break that up into separate little short videos going over each step, because some of it is more, you know, if you're an experienced reloader, you don't need to see resizing, priming, and expanding the neck and that. If you're new to this, or if you're interested in these old guns and you're not familiar with reloading, I'll try to explain things so you can get a pretty good idea of what's involved and what you have to get into. So first, cover the brass. And the only other thing on the brass is it is expensive, and if you're firing a smokeless load, really there's nothing extra you have to do. You treat it just like normal brass. Try not to step on it or dent it too much, or, you know, be careful when you eject it from the rifle. If you're loading black powder, you do have to take extra care with the brass. First thing is, you should take to the range with you, I take a milk carton full of warm soapy water. And after you fire a black powder round, drop that case into the soapy water. And what this does is loosen the black powder residue, because the black powder residue will corrode the brass in pretty short order and to the point where it's not usable. So you want to take care in handling it. Then after you get back home, swoosh it around, get all the water out. But the only problem is, unless you have like an air hose with compressed air or something, you have to be very careful about drying the brass out. And it takes a few days to get it dry. And I found that taking a cleaning rod with a bit of a paper towel and running it down into the bottom of the case, because water will collect and stay there. I've tried standing them upside down or whatever, but wipe them off, try to dry them off, and I usually go and try to run a piece of absorbent paper towel down in there to get the water out, just to be on the safe side. But other than that, that's about all you have to know about brass. And this brass is available, I'll take that, from most of your major reloading places. Midway, Grafs and Sons. Buffalo Arms is another place that caters mostly to cowboy action shooting and old black powder rifle cartridges. You can get the empty brass from them too, I believe. And you can get loaded ammunition. But most of your major online reloading supply places will carry this. Some of it's out of stock, some of it's available, and different calibers can get a bit more expensive. Some of them go up to $75 a box. So if you're interested in this, that's something you got to take into consideration. And okay, that's just about covers buying the brass or obtaining the brass.